Yeah. All right, say something
Bars.
again.
Low, 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 low.
Hello.
Yeah, we should run it back a little bit. I definitely want to get into the story about
Yeah.
because myself barely starting to like trying to get into that lifestyle because growing up, well, I had a hard time like treating working out as nothing but a chore. Like I would always see it as a
Oh, yeah.
chore. So it took me some time to like start reframing that how I view it. You know,
Yeah.
it's more like giving back to myself type shit. You know.
Yeah, no, the working out. So as a kid, like I fell in love with soccer from the gate, because of my tios, and I grew up in the building, and obviously immigrant dominated community where I grew up, and everybody's a little bites a kid growing up with soccer. So soccer was our thing. School, there's no grass, cement. My house, there's no backyard, no front yard, cement. So soccer all day, and like I said, scars all over from left to right, playing in cement. That's how I grew up playing soccer. That's where, like, now I know that's where I would go in the flow and unplug from whatever the hell was going on in my life. But soccer, growing up, pool, swimming. I was a fat, chunky kid because of the way I ate quesadillas and pupusas and
Hell yeah.
McDonald's every
K-Town
Sunday.
has some spots.
All the way to Third and Vermont, Sizzlers right there, Shadow. But it was always, you know, processed grease and nothing but fucked up food. Like, not because my mom didn't cook, right? She did. I just never liked it. And that's my whole where like I really started getting into sports. Once I got into middle school though, shout out Berendo, I'm a Berendo burrito kid. That's why I picked up football and we would play again cement
American football.
American football, and it kind of just took me out of the soccer head. I played in La Cuarta, Quinta, Sexta growing up
shit.
in soccer, Whittier Arrows. So
Whittier Narrows, damn.
yeah, that's the throwback days with LA Juniors.
Sure.
That's where I would once I played like say organized soccer in grass. It was just like
Not cement.
freedom.
Life-changing.
Yeah, no, and I was a little fat chunky kid, but I could move. Again, I didn't know.
Did you have good height? It feels like you
The
had-
normal,
Okay.
nothing out of the ordinary. But because I swam so damn much, my lungs were built. I didn't know it at the time. I could
Stamina.
hang, yeah. So I would play with the cuarta, and then I'll jump in. I'll play with the quinta, and I'll jump with the cuarta, and when the cuarta, I'll jump in the tercera, and like that's where I stopped tercera. And but my love for soccer changed in middle school to football, and then football. Playing street football. We would play street football up and down. Before West Adams was there, the high school on 20th in Vermont, that little side, we would go St. James,
Facts.
yeah, all those little schools around there, down up and down Vermont, Normandy Park. But it was soccer, football, street football. And then when I guess I don't know how in 8th grade there was a high school recruiter, not recruiters, but like I guess different high schools would come to the middle school and ask, what would an elective be or what sport would you like to play in high school? And I said football, not expecting nothing of it. Yet my first day of high school, I had 6 periods, homeroom, and then said 7th period football. I was like,
Damn.
what? Manual arts.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah, and in middle school, I went from K-Town to USC area, 36, and Vermont, still down Vermont, catching that 204 bus. So I moved during 7th grade, and for the next 7th and 8th grade, I told my dad, like, I don't want to come to anything on this side. I want to keep going where I was at, which is Berendo. So I would catch the bus every morning to Berendo. Even when that LA metro strike was going on, I think, 2000, somewhere right there, because those were the years I was in middle school, 2000. I still came and I slept over my I would call her mom, my Maria's house, and I stayed there for a while
To go to school.
just to go to school. But then once high school came, my address changed and I couldn't escape it. And I told my dad, I was like, look, like I'm into sports and either Belmont, LA High, and I'm trying to go this way, but obviously because of my address, Manual Arts is here, so I need to change that. And he's like, we'll figure it out. First day, I get to Manual Arts, 7th period. They take row in the gym and straight to the weight room, football players. And I had slept wrong the night before, so I was with my neck all twisted. And yeah, straight to the bench. And they were like, oh, we're benching with like 45s on the side. I was like, the hell is a bench? I never like done weights. But yeah, and I told them, look, I woke up with my neck. They're like, take your fucking backpack off. We're gonna bench. And I was like, all right. Within 2-3 days of having weight room, I told my dad, now I'm good here. Like, this is it. Like, now I'm in the shit. Like, now I'm in a football team and it's organized and it's weight room and I'm going, this is what I want. So I fell in love with that. And then for the next 4 years, playing football at Manual Arts. But that's kind of where it like stopped, like working out, because the party called. The party called, and then I really just leaned into the partying, and I really stopped working out like completely, like here and there, but like running, working out, playing, gone. Unless we were playing at the park basketball, but other than that, working out really stopped, and I picked up the party, and that's what I leaned into for sure.
And for how long did that last? Was that like after high school into your adult?
All my damn life, I've been partying. I was raised in the party. So we take it back. Like my dad was a tailor. Worked from home, and he would set up. He worked with the nightclub ladies. So my dad organized pageants, drag queen shows, meseras, like all these, like mesera of the month, nightclubs of the month, like all that. Like he would have all these organized events, and in my house it was just a turn up all the damn time.
For
like
sure.
you couldn't knock in my house before 11 a.m. because he would not answer. But you pull up at 2 a.m., we're still
Everybody's
going.
up.
Yeah, we're still rolling. Like I never had a curfew in my life, and the curfew was like, don't knock in that door before 11 a.m. Like, so yeah, the partying's always been there. I picked it up even more as the years went by in school. But yeah, high school was like ditching parties, the flyer parties, those type of days. I leaned into it, and then for me it was always easy to like organize a party. I just got that from my dad. It was always easy to like, hey, let's make something happen, ditching, and anywhere. It didn't even matter. I could freaking do a ditching party at the PE field at the behind the bleachers, but like it was that easy. And now I know, what was happening in my personal life. Really, I kind of was masking everything through the entire thing. Then out of high school, again, when I moved to USC, I moved to the USC area, but now I'm in a block with USC students, so there's parties every week, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm that 12-year-old, 13-year-old in the USC parties, learning keg stands. I swear, like
That's crazy,
turning
bro.
up bands and everything. It was just live, and it was just part of my neighborhood, part of the culture, and it was just always around me. So it was no big deal. So it never stopped. I went all the way up to 34 years old, partying.
Damn.
Then the clubs, raves. I mean, fuck, the shit just got crazier and crazier as the years went by.
How'd you see yourself coming back to like fitness and wellness and like?
Yeah. So, like I tell people, I grew up at 34. Before that,
And that's valid though, because I feel like a lot of 20-year-old, 30-year-olds, they feel lost and they feel like incomplete, like they haven't gotten to where they need to get to. But
yeah,
sometimes you hear from 30-year-olds like this is the time that you find yourself really, and you start really looking back and like seeing like that your perspectives were maybe a little flawed sometimes, and
right.
and that you can still find yourself at 30 years old.
I mean, I would see people like having kids and growing up. They're at the scene, like raising kids, and 2-3 years later they're back, and it's like, you never grew up. You were just, doing your duties as a father for the first year or two, but now you broke up with your baby mama and giving your kid away to your mama this weekend or to the baby mama the next weekend and right back. So whatever, everybody. And I never saw it as growing up either. It's just like, we're rolling, like, and if you don't have a job, well, fuck it, you're staying at home. But we're still going. Now we're going to be turned up, or we're going to make it to the club before 10 o'clock, get in free. And once we're in there, you better pick up on somebody's going to buy you a drink, or you coming up on a drink or whatever, but you're broke, you still party. And it just was, I never saw it where it's like, oh, when are you growing up? To me, I was a perfectly functioning party animal, and then by 6 o'clock on a Monday, I'm right back at work, and that was it. direct deposit every 2 weeks. Schedule was whatever I wanted to make it, and it was just fully functional, you know. And it was never a, oh, you got a problem or you need to grow up or nah. It was never none of that. So homies come and go always. Again, the one thing that would keep them away was the kids or the new girlfriend or whatnot, but it was never like a growing up thing. Once I really started like with the blackouts and then doing dumb shit, that's where, you know, people don't really tell you that you're fucking up. They tell you you're fucking up, but they don't really like get into the
Details, like try to help you.
yeah, or how to help you because they don't know how to do it themselves. They'll just tell you, hey, like, it was fucked up what you did yesterday. All right, well, how do we fix that? Like, I don't, in the hood, South Central, I don't think, I know for a fact, we don't know how to heal.
It was just uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And we avoid being uncomfortable within our own friendships. I think even that is a learning process. I think for a lot of
Right.
people, especially in the hood, is like you did something wrong. Maybe they'll joke about it, but they won't actually stop you and like try to talk to you about it. You know, or like get super deep. I mean, I guess it's hard to be uncomfortable. You know, we don't grow up with that.
We don't. Plus, like, if you do something wrong, it's probably glorified at some point. Oh, you came up on this. Or you came up on that bottle. Cool. We all drank out of your bottle. We all had a blast because you did some dumb shit. Or you took somebody's girl. It's like, oh, but like, you know, it's really fucked up when you're on the other side. Or you ended up beating somebody up. Or you snuck your way into the club. Like, it's not something that
To be proud of,
To be proud of?
kind of like glorified in a way. Like,
but it is glorified.
Who's gonna do some crazy shit tonight? Let's go watch him again, like type shit.
Or we're gonna kick it with him because he's gonna do some shit. We're gonna.
We can get him to do this
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So like that. Again, never blaming nobody. It's just culture right here in LA. This is just what the fuck it is. Like, or you're with this fool and where you from, and first one to snap, first one to like keep us in the clean. You know, and around here, everybody's knows somebody. Everybody's from somewhere. Everybody, either you gangbang or you're around it, but it's just culture. You went to school with so and so. You played soccer with so and so. You know what streets are. What you know what's happening. Like without you wanting to get involved,
Yeah, for sure.
you're part of it.
You have to be
You
aware.
have to be. You have to be aware, and that's where I think awareness. But that's what we have. We have awareness to where we're at, and who's around in what neighborhoods and what's coming out. That we're very aware of. When it comes to mental health, when it comes to healing, when it comes to this mindfulness space,
It's unknown.
zero awareness to it. And then you start going down that path and motherfuckers look at you like weird, like, oh, you're a hippie, you meditate, you do yoga, like what? Like, oh, he's on some other shit. And it's just the right way, you
But
know?
do you feel like we're at a turning point? Because I feel like generationally, it seems like some of these generational curses are kind of beginning to be talked about, and
Right.
maybe the approach isn't fully there, but we're starting to see more understanding around it.
Honestly, I do see it more. Well,
I feel like
again,
there's less people drinking, less people smoking, and more into the fitness style. And I'm not sure if it's because of social media,
right.
but I have seen a lot of that.
And it's
convert.
well, now that I've been alcohol free for the last 3 years and 4 months.
Damn, dude,
Yeah,
congrats.
thank you. And I picked up on mindfulness, and I picked up the healing, and I picked up the plant medicine realm, and now I'm obviously in the space. I'm fully aware of it, so I see it, I recognize it, and I'm more aware of it. Before, you would have told me, I mean, there could have been a yoga studio next to my fucking house, and I would have never paid attention
Yeah,
to it. It's
yeah,
just like,
facts.
whatever,
Yeah.
you know? So it doesn't register. Again, back to the awareness. Like, you have zero awareness. You're more concerned, like, well, Saturday, where are we going? Or it's Friday, where we going to kick it? Or like, that's that shit right there. Like, you're not tripping. Or like, I just got out of work. Where the homies at? Whose house are we going to go? Or we're clubbing in today. Like, that was for me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday's recovery day. We're chilling and right back to work on Monday. But I do see more now again with the run clubs too. Run clubs from left to right. They bring in mindfulness all around. So they're having yoga, they're having meditation, they're having a hike day, they're having a beach cleanup day. I see it now because I'm around it. But is there a space where homies could come and be all inclusive amongst men or men's circles, or just inclusive around women too, and be themselves and open up like, hey, I've had domestic violence in my house, hey, alcohol problems, sexual abuse. Like, hell nah. Ain't nobody gonna come up to you and just open up and feel safe space. Like, no way. Like, I think you get there after shit hits the fan. I think you get there when all your avenues are burnt out and you're just desperate and you have that agony, you have that anxiety, and you have the depression, and you just know something's wrong, and then you seek it. But for like, say, hey, today's Sunday, we're gonna have a men's circle over there, just a day to be us and
Open.
be open. Hell nah, that ain't happening. Might I still still don't know where to go. Again, now that I'm in the space, I see places. But if you're not about that life yet and you're full in demon mode, as they call it, that ain't something.
What do you think it takes to get there, though? I feel like
Shit hitting the fan. Out of how I'm gonna talk today, or how I'm gonna even just spill it out, it's personal experience. Party animal here all the way, right? All the way. And then so how I even get to that point was get real. With me, I never understood what empathy was. I didn't even know what the fuck empathy was.
damn.
I didn't know how to feel bad. Like, yeah, I feel bad when I'm getting shit talked to right here by my partner in front of my face, or like a teacher or like a boss telling me, hey, this is what you did wrong. Cool.
When it's direct
I
to you.
get it right here and right now.
Yeah.
I turn around. Pew. All right, cool. I did that. I might feel bad at the moment, and it might linger because you might get written up, or your partner's mad for the rest of that day, or for the rest 2-3 days. Cool. But goes in one ear, goes out to the other, and then you get right back to whatever behavior that was. And for me, when I came to the healing, empathy was something that I was like, holy shit, like, I don't have that. I didn't learn that. And when you start digging, it's like, why? I really started questioning why I was the way I was. For me, shit had to hit the fan, like relationships, career, friendships. Like, I lost so much all within a small period of time. And it was because my lifestyle finally had caught up. I didn't understand. To me, mental health was like, oh, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know, that word mental health was associated with like the loony bin
Facts.
to me.
Yeah.
And I had no clue. Therapy, oh, you're talking about therapist, well, something's really fucked up with you. Like, you're crazy, you know? And again, being the party animal that I was always like, where are we going next? Turn up. And things changed during COVID because I'm an essential worker. I did 13 years at Whole Foods. That was my career. At the time, you know, everybody's doing the panic shopping. Everybody is
Buying all the
social
waters.
distancing, buying the toilet, buying the
I can't find no
fucking
toilet paper.
all that shit. And I'm dealing with that at Whole Foods, social distancing at the beginning. I mean, there was no real rules. So we were only letting like 20 people in per for the whole store. It's a big ass store, but we're only letting
Kind of making it up as you go.
Yeah,
no?
we're legit.
Yeah.
There was zero.
That was like new rules, like
Zero
every 2
rules.
weeks, like new posters that were.
And I'm team
up.
leader, so I'm dealing with the door, I'm dealing with security, I'm dealing with the front end. Like, this is some shit that, like, it was just natural to me. Like, whatever, just some another day, you know. And even at work, like, how do you social distance with the people you work with for 8 hours for 5 days a week? You're not. Like, I don't care what you say, like, you're not, you know. And so at some point, we're dealing with all the panic shoppers, we're doing all that. Cool. And me being always with the juice, I always tell the crew, hey, we're gonna get shots, ginger shots, and everything. Like, we're gonna fight the virus as much as we can. But once there was one case, it was just a snowball effect. Boom, 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 boom. Next, COVID, out for 15 days or whatever the fuck it was. I still didn't catch it the whole entire year. And then once things started opening up and everything started getting more lenient, you know, it was always, you know, culture that when somebody gets promoted somewhere, we're going to go hang out and, you know, give them their goodbye. So somebody was getting promoted. They're going to be at the bar / club. Sign me up. Where at? What time? Cool. Pulling up. It was still iffy, but I was like, let's go. Boom, we make it. Turn up. The day after might have been, or 2 days after, whatever. It was within 48 hours for sure. Get the text. Hey, sorry, but you should get tested. I caught COVID. And I'm just like, fuck. We're literally sharing drinks. So, you know, like, here we are. Boom. I catch COVID. December 2021.
It's like right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas. Yeah. Right before Christmas. So I'm always up and down. It never stops. It's like, what are we getting into? Plus my house was always like the turn up house. I'm always into some shit up until that point, you know, and catch COVID for first time. Now I'm in quarantine. I'm at home. I'm like, damn, I can't go here. I can't go there. I can't go to work. Like, I can't invite nobody over. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm home, locked up. And I'm just like, yo, like, seriously? Like, there's nothing I could do? Cool. So, because it's December, almost Christmas, I'm like, what are your goals for 2020? So, it was this, 2022? What's 2022? 2021, 2022, December. I don't know, what are your goals for next year? Because I was trying to set some goals for the new year. And one of the goals was to, you know, be financially free. How am I going to be financially free? Bitcoin. Cool. Learn Bitcoin. I turn on YouTube. I'm never home. I'm never just sitting down, so I don't have time to be on YouTube. So now I have all day. Bam, turn on YouTube. I start going down the rabbit hole. Blockchain, wallets,
Reddit,
crypto, Discord.
Yeah.
And then the fucking word NFTs. And I'm like, what the fuck is NFTs? I'm still thinking I'm in Bitcoin world. But no, NFTs were on Ethereum. Ethereum is a whole different chain. A different coin. So whatever. I'm spending all day just like on this, learning wallets, learning how to even purchase MetaMask wallets and how to buy NFTs, communities. And I'm just like, whatever, going down the rabbit hole, right? Going to NFTs. I learned to purchase Ethereum. I bought my first Bitcoin, $100 purchase.
Was it like a full coin or?
Hell nah. At that time, that was like, I wish. At that time, it was like 64 when I bought my first Bitcoin. Yeah, 64,000. I don't think people, again, back to how our communities are. When you talk Bitcoin or crypto, two different things, because Bitcoin is Bitcoin by itself. Yeah. People think that you have to buy an entire coin all at once. So how much is Bitcoin? Well, at the peak right now, it's 110 or something. Oh, $110? I don't have that fucking kind of money. Well, no, you could just buy $5 worth if you want to. You're just buying it at that rate, you know. Like, you could kind of think about it like money exchange when you get, you know, in Mexico for $1 18 pesos, or I don't know where the fuck the exchange is at, but like that. So with Bitcoin, about $100 for 64K, just to get my feet wet, just to learn the wallet, just to be like, fuck it, this is what I learned. And then, but it was that Bitcoin word took me down the NFT rabbit hole. And when it took me down that rabbit hole, I was seeing people buy like $100 NFTs and then flipping them for like 10 racks. And I'm like,
but a lot of them were fucking
scams.
They used to call them rug pulls, where basically they'll like inflate it.
You guys are up to speed with the terminology.
Bro, we went to GameStop. I bought GameStop stock that year too. During that time, that moment, me and this fool were deep in it, just because we had a lot of time on our hands, similar to you. So I feel like in that sense, kind of COVID made us pause and like try to spend more time online.
It's rare that I come across somebody in the hood that understands the terminology.
Bro, I got my down payment from GameStop.
That's
I'm a card down payment
trippy.
from GameStop.
Dope.
No, yeah, there was all these celebrities fucking promoting that shit. But
Okay, now
but
I
it
don't
was
know
just-
with that, but anything that's promoted with a celebrity is a fucking scam, a rug pull.
Yeah, no, for sure. The first few kind of took off and everybody fell for it, but like after that, they kind of just realized that it's just their face. The celebrity was getting paid like a shit ton to like
Shit
put their
ton.
face on it, and then after people were like buying it, they would just obviously pressure
out.
fucking.
Man, I'm a Steelers fan, and
cash out.
fucking Antonio Brown used to promote all these rug pulls.
shit.
My
No
dumb
way.
ass ended up buying some game, my shit jacked, whatever. So
So you did all this research and then you
Yeah.
started dipping into it.
on the NFTs, and then I'm like, cool. Well, if I'm gonna get into something, I'm gonna go and do my
in.
research. So podcast, and now I don't have Twitter at the time, but anything crypto, Bitcoin, NFTs, jump on Twitter.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Bro,
That's where it's at.
dude.
That's where-
Starbucks had NFTs. I'm not sure if you
Yeah,
ever saw the
for the
Starbucks,
rewards
the
program.
sirens.
Yeah.
Bro, I was buying them out of work. It was because they were dropping like at 9 a.m. So I was at work at that time, and I was just waiting for like that 9 a.m. to like buy it. And I was fucking just
drops.
buying that
And then
shit
you gotta
for like
be in a loud list,
$100.
wish list, or whatever to get the pre-sale.
Yeah.
So
white
that
list.
world, I jump on podcast, and then there was this podcast. Shout out the NFT Catcher podcast. I don't think they're active as
A lot of
much
them
anymore.
sold or they're
Yeah,
gone.
but
They're
that
just-
podcast right there, I'm listening to them every week. There was a different segment,
Drop.
the different recap of what happened during the week, because that space one
moving.
week is
It was
fucking
moving, bro.
a year.
Yeah, for sure.
Like 10 things could have happened on a Monday, and then Tuesday happens another 20, and you're just like, damn, how the hell you keep up?
and everything on Monday is fucking irrelevant as
And that's
fuck.
without
Yeah.
ChatGPT, brother.
But that's before AI. Yeah, I learned about ChatGPT and AI way before it even came out here because of Twitter and NFTs. And I mean, everybody's in the space right there, so everybody's involved. All right, cool. So now I'm back at work, and I'm like, well,
After
I
you
learned
had
NFTs.
COVID?
I had COVID, but I'm listening to podcasts, right? I finally buy my first NFT. Bam! Hell yeah! I forget the name, but it was a rug pull. Months later, I found out. But in that podcast, I ended up hearing one of the guests. His name was Volt. Psychedelics Anonymous. That changed my damn life right there. So I'm listening. That's like the turning point with this whole mental health, with the whole healing, with the whole. There's a different way. There's a different community. There's a freaking world out there, right? Again, he's talking about Psychedelics Anonymous, a mental health project around psychedelics and healing. As long as you hold that NFT, you have access to free talk therapy, yada yada yada, mental health this. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm still listening just to see what else is happening on the show. But then he gets to the part where he says, as long as you hold this NFT, well, he talks about mycelium, which was, he would see the world as a mycelium and everybody coming together. But then he gets to the part where he says, as long as you hold this NFT, you'll have access to a $1.3 million party at NFT NYC. It's like, what? $1.3 million party in New York? Like, what's up? It's for an entire week too. You'll have access to co-working space, parties, events, this and that. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is where it's at. How much is this? I checked the NFT. The Genesis was like 2 ETH or something like that.
Damn.
ETH at that time was, I think, like 1,300 or 1,500. So you're looking at about $3,000 for this NFT. And I was like, hell no way,
racks.
But I called my homie up and I was like, yo, I'm like, you need to listen to a podcast interview, something about Psychedelics Anonymous, $1.3 million party, NFT NYC. And as long as you have this Genesis, you'll be able to have access to the thing. But I'm like, it's about 2 ETH and I don't have that much money. But just look into it. And then he was like, yeah, whatever. Volt also mentioned there's an IRL pass. As long as you have that IRL pass, which is another part of a collection of the NFTs. The Genesis was the main thing, and then it was all these passes and separate little collections. As long as you hold the in real life pass, IRL pass, you'll have access to the parties, but you won't be in the VIP section. To me, dog, like all my damn life, I don't care where I'm at. No
Just in
ticket,
it. Just
no
in
ticket, no problem. Like I don't need to buy the entrance. I'm either sneaking in, I'm gonna pay the guard. Like I don't care, no ticket, no problem. I'm gonna get in there somehow, some way. But I told him, look, as long as I have this, and then I looked up, the IRL pass was just about $300. I was like, well, cool, I could do that, compared to like $2,000-$3,000. So I had some ETH, you know. Now I know how to buy shit. Now I know how to get in there. Still no Twitter, but I buy the pass. And I told my boy if it was just about $300. He's like, cool. I went to do a pop up, and then came back, and then I forgot about it. But 2 days later, my boy tried to buy it, and it went up to $600. So I had
shit.
2x like within 2 days.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, you said the IRL pass?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, $600, and I was like, "What?" And I checked. I'm like, "Damn, this is crazy how it was moving." Whatever. NFTLA was happening about a week or two later, and I told them, "Well, one of us has a pass, dog. So come on, let's make it happen for NFTLA." And then right before NFTLA, Psychedelics Anonymous had an IRL meetup, in real life meetup in Orange County by holders, right? So I told them, let's pull up, like, let's go meet these motherfuckers. And so I told them, well, I'm not trying to pull up empty-handed. Like, I never pull up anywhere empty-handed. So I'm like, so what do we do? I was like, well, just look at their page. So we looked at their page. We were looking at their colors. We were looking at how their whole brand was. And I'm like, let's make hats. And he's like, cool. So my boy, shout out Ethan Katz, DJ Ethan. He has a studio, and he's a graphic designer. He's a DJ producer. So creative space,
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't matter where I've always been into. Like, I always need to unplug, and like, there's a creative space I need to be around at least once every 2 weeks, just to unplug,
Absolutely.
catch flow, and just be off of whatever I am. So at his studio, that's what that happens. Cool. I was like, well, this is Psychedelics Anonymous, so we can't use their name, their brand, but the word psychedelic is psychedelic, it doesn't matter. There's no copyright behind it. And we're Southern California, so I made some hats that says Southern California Psychedelics. Made them in gray and purple. I dropped a batch of 12 because that's the minimum you do. Not because I wanted to make 12.
Minimum order.
But it was the minimum. I make a hat. We show up to this meetup, and I'm meeting people. These motherfuckers are all with 2-3 Genesis. So that's like $8,000-$9,000. These fuckers knew what they were doing. We're the only Latinos there, or 1 or 2 others. But everybody's balling out. And at that week, there was some guy, I forget his name, that a whale came in, swept the project, and it went up to like 3-4 ETHs for a Genesis. So everybody was all excited because the floor price is moving up, and everybody's balling all of a sudden. And I'm just like, damn, everybody here has a Genesis, and I'm over here with an IRL pass. Whatever. But I start getting questioned about my hat. They're like, hey, where'd you get your hat? I was like, oh, I made them. You got any more? It's like, I do. How much? I think I sold them for $30 or $40 that first batch. And I'm like, I got some in the car. And then I brought the whole, sleeve of hats that I had. Sold out. Everybody just bought them for me. And I became known as like a designer of the hats. So I sold out. Cool. NFTLA happens the next week. And NFTLA was peak again. Fucking NFTs here in LA. Now I have other communities like the Homies, which is the Cheech and Chong project. Super Chief had partnered up with them, so they were throwing a party with Cheech and Chong there, Q&A. And from the gate, like we even got picked up from the convention center where NFT LA was at. Got on a bus, hotboxed that motherfucker all the way to Cheech and Chong. Once we pulled up there, everything, Cheech and Chong. Bud, trees, whatever, all that, open bar, turn up. And because I have different homies and different NFT collections, we were going from left to right everywhere. And Psychedelics Anonymous was hosting an event. We were at Yard House eating as a community, and I started meeting people. By now I'm on Twitter, so now I'm catching what's going on, being on spaces and stuff like that. Again, party. But I'm hanging out with the community. I'm hearing about mental health and this and that. And then it really never, I'm turned up. And when I'm turned up, we had a Steve Aoki access, Timmy Trumpet. We were all of these parties, up and down, partying. And at that time, I was still drinking. So, to me, I kick it. Like how we're right here. I am comfortable as fuck. Been like that all my life. I'll pull up anywhere. It doesn't matter where. And I'm just so comfortable. So just me being me, party animal, kicking it. I get to meet all these people. On Twitter, some of them were anonymous behind this avatar.
Yeah.
But I'm putting a name to the face, and everybody's like, obviously knowing me, and I'm the hat guy too. So at some point, people are like, "Yo, what's up? You got a hat?" I didn't even know. Like even Justin Bieber's producer came up to me, "Hey man, you got a hat?" And I was like, "Nah, you gotta have to wait." Later, I found out who he was, and I was like, "Fuck, I fucked up." Like like that crazy shit. Whatever. NFTLA happens, and I told my boy, "Hey, fool, you gotta make it happen for NFTA NYC. Like it needs to happen." So it goes from April, I think, NFTLA, and then it was June, July in NFT NYC. But now I have Twitter, so I'm now listening to spaces, and now it's getting serious with the mental health talks. And now I'm on, listening to spaces during the day. They have mental health Mondays. Shout out B-Tabs, Billy, Waterbill, them two. It was hosted by a neurologist. And
did you get on Clubhouse?
I didn't make Clubhouse. I was a little bit after. So a urologist and a neurologist, mental health Mondays, and they're shooting the shit around mental health, breath work, meditation, mindfulness, practice, and psychedelic ceremonies and all this. And I'm just still like, whatever. I'm listening to it because there's hints of what's happening with the project there. So for that hour, I'm listening on my headphone or in the car, wherever I'm at, usually juicing. So I'm learning and I'm just picking up like what's happening around mental health space. And that was just Monday. Tuesday was another segment. Wednesday. Every day had a different host or a different show. But then every day, that was during the day. At night, it was After Dark with Hef. Shout out to Hef. Hef is a Navy veteran, I don't know how many freaking years he's been there, but like OG right there, right? And his spaces were after dark, so they were uncensored, and the realest, rawest topics was being shot at in those spaces. And anything from suicide, drug abuse, sexual abuse, mental health abuse, like every abuse was being brought up by people that were successful, by people that were, in my eyes, rich, which they were, well off with money, lawyers, entrepreneurs, real estate, teachers, psychologists. Everybody's in those fucking spaces. And I'm listening, and
You still at Whole Foods?
I'm still at Whole Foods at this time. I'm still partying my ass off, but I'm listening to mental health talks every day probably now. And it's bro, those fucking spaces would start
Bro, they were nonstop, bro.
They would start, I don't know, 7 8 p.m. at 9, call it whatever the fuck you want to call it, 9 p.m. West Coast time. I would go to sleep on the spaces because I'll pass out, wake up 7 a.m. they're still fucking going. Damn. Fucking yeah, marathon shit. And it was serious shit. Again, he has a military background, so people were very open with his stuff. But then we're a community, it's like it's anonymous, so this is bringing the world. Like I could pop up anywhere in this world and jump on Twitter like, "Hey, I landed here," and there was somebody that would
bridge
be
connections.
Like, "Yep." That's how NFTs work. Like the communities that work, like you literally have homies that you've never met, but you say, "I'm in this town," boom, pull up. Or there's a conference and you just bump into somebody. So it gave me access to another world that I know. Again, mental health. So I'm listening to these spaces and there's people talking about, my mother called me my cell phone just to blow her head off with a gun while I'm on the phone. What the fuck? Now that person is super successful and I'm just like, damn, if this person went through that hell but was able to like get their mind right, like what's up with me? Like it was a mirror at the end of the day. It was just holding up the mirror. And the more I'm listening to the spaces, the more I'm partying, obviously, and the more I'm blacking out. And the more I'm blacking out, the next day, everybody's like, fuck, I'm never drinking again. Like, why did I do that? You have that guilt trip
That next day. Not remembering, not knowing what happened.
Yeah. And there's no empathy to yourself. I don't know empathy. So it's just that one day.
And then back to normal.
Then fuck it. Voy a curar la cruda and just get another fucking beer and smoke a blunt and we're straight. Back at it. Where we going today?
Yeah.
But hey, you put hands on so and so. Hey, and I'm like, fuck, like, damn. or you woke up in jail, and it's just like, whatever the cause is. I think any party animal has been there, done that. When you black out, you wake up the next day, and you're like, fuck. That was happening way more often. Again, I didn't know my personal life. I didn't know all these years. I think carrying that was everything was just like brewing to what was about to happen. But because I have that community, because I'm being aware of mental health, because I'm listening to it, it really was a mirror to be like, all right, cool. Like this is something serious. But fast forward, we go to NFT NYC. First day there. I'm by my damn self. I took a collection of the new drop.
You made it by yourself?
Yeah.
Damn.
My homie didn't end up buying the pass. Well, he did, but never bought the conference ticket or the flight. I pulled up with 24 new hats, fresh drop, New York City psychedelic for just the conference. And now I'm selling them for $50 in ETH or Bitcoin. So now I'm catching up. Like, yo, crypto.
You know, there's demand.
Hell yeah. Like, what's your wallet? Here. And, you know, MetaMask, all that. So,
And it's funny because when you pay with crypto, you always pay more than like more.
Yeah, well, there was
it's
gas
more
fees and all that.
than casual money. So if it's like a $30 hat, you'll pay like 50 in ETH or Bitcoin.
well, at that time, gas prices were like...
Stupid
When we say gas
expensive.
prices, we don't mean gasoline. I don't mean
It's like the
gasoline.
transaction
It's the
fee.
transaction that you pay the miner just for it to go, like all that. And if you wanted your transaction to be faster, you would raise your higher gas prices. You're not getting your gas price money back. If it was $50, you throw in another. Maybe sometimes it was $50
Yeah,
just gas
they're
price
expensive.
just to put your transaction through. So I make it to NFT NYC first fucking night though. First night I always go out with a bang anything I do. So I fly with my weed, Cali weed, or everywhere I went I always flew with it. I fly, so I'm loaded, and where we're going tonight, there's a bunch of shit going on, and we went from place to place. But
You say we, so there's people you met up with that you knew off of Twitter?
off of Twitter, and I'm roommates with Hef, which was hosting space, and then another homie, and they were in Times Square. I've never been in New York. I just landed at the freaking airport, Google Maps, pay for a train card, and let's move in trains, make it to Times Square. Everybody has different things, but I was like, where are we going tonight? Wherever we ended up, that night one, it was the Bored Apes were having Ape Fest. Ape Fest in New York was Pier 39. Pier something. Pier 11. I don't know. I get it confused with San Francisco Pier, but it's a Pier something. And hey, what's up? We're going to the Ape Fest tonight.
Oh, the heavy hitters.
Exactly. And those heavy hitters are Psychedelics Anonymous too. So they're around me, Well, to me, no ticket, no problem. I'm rolling. Somehow we're gonna make our way in there. Cool. I roll one of my homies, and he's a Bored Ape, and we get there, and I was like, fuck it, hustle time. I'm looking, I'm like, well, I can't jump physically in here because everything's securityed up. And I'm like, let me see the entrance with the tickets. They're scanning. I forget what the fuck it was, but it was a verified NFT holder thing. And I'm like, well, I can't get in like that. So I was like, well, fuck it. I just started asking everybody, anybody got a +1, +1, +1, +1? And a guy was like, yeah, man, what's up? I got an extra one. Because I knew it was more that if you're holding an NFT, sometimes you're holding more than one, So cool. I get in. I make it inside the Bored Ape party. I bump into my homies. Now I'm seeing, obviously, holders. I'm recognizing some because I had gone to a 420 Bored Ape party here in LA. So I bumped into some of those heads down there in New York. But I'm with my boy, and my boy knows the whole fucking community. So, get introduced, buy merch, because I'm a flip. To this day, I still have brand new merch from Ape Fest at my house. Because I'm not a Bored Ape, so I never felt entitled to wear that. Yeah. But they're brand new, and I was like, I'm going to flip them, because everybody was flipping shit. And so I get to the merch store, buy my stuff, and I'm just like, damn, there's a lot of shit here I could come up on. Again, back to that mentality, how I was. But obviously I pay for my shit, right? Cool. We open bar, so we're turned up, open bar, and smoking blunts, drinking, and I'm an IPA guy, so it's IPAs and shots and we blackout at some point. When I come to my senses, like outside the party. My phone is dead. I have no idea what happened. Like, I knew I had gotten into a fight because my knuckles were all scraped. And in my mind, I'm like, fuck, I got jumped by these fucking bored apes. And I was like, bet, like, I'm coming back at some point. But I didn't know what was happening.
Right.
So I black out and I'm like, well, I need to charge my phone. So I'm like, I need to charge my phone. I'm like, how am I going to charge my phone? I went to some pizza parlor, or I don't know what it was. Told them if they could charge my phone. Yeah, they said, yeah. Went to buy another
You're
beer.
back in your senses, but you were still feeling
I'm
drunk?
blacked out still.
That same night or the next morning?
That
You
night.
just remember that?
I just
that piece?
knew that some shit had gone down. And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? Day one. We still have a week conference. We still haven't even made it to the Psychedelics Anonymous house yet. Like, day one. Cool. I told him I'll be back. I went to go buy another beer, and I'm just like, what happened? Like, what the fuck happened? Nothing. So I go back to the pizza parlor, and I'm like, hey, can I get my phone? They're like, we don't have your phone. And I'm like, stop playing with me. Like, I need my phone. And everybody, they were Indian. So they start talking in their native tongue. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers got me.
Trying to come up on
Yeah, especially they're talking in some language I don't understand. And I'm getting hot again. And I'm like, where the fuck is my phone? And yeah, we don't have your phone. So I jump across the jump across the counter.
Bugging.
I do my thing. And I was like, by the time I come back, like, my phone better be here. I cross the scene. Cool. I go outside. And when I walk outside, I was like, oh, wait. That wasn't the pizza parlor.
You got the wrong one.
Yeah, I got the wrong one.
What the fuck?
So I go back into the other pizza parlor and they're like, hey, your phone here. And I was like, shit, I just made a whole ass scene over there for no reason. Now I'm in New York acting South Central, you know?
Why South Central? Why not K-Town?
West Adams, if you want to fucking get it
for
right.
Sure. Let's get it.
Shout out West Adams, was right there. I'm acting West Adams, but I'm including South Central because that's all a part of it. So I'm acting West Adams all day and on that West Side mode, you know, all gas, no brakes, and Costa Ruckus again. I hit up my boy Hef and I'm like, yo, these fucking bored apes jumped me. We're at the strip club. Pull up. I'm like, I want no parts of any of that. And he's like, just go back to the room. Cool. I went back to the room, passed out. And then I wake up the next day. And that's when, like, I'm like, cool. I couldn't piece anything together. I had no recollection. Turns out, the boy that was with me, I don't even want to say his name because it's just, I put that foot through some shit. Like, he had never really kicked it with me like that. And that next morning, he was staying at the spot with us. With Hef, right? He never made it back to the room. It wasn't because he couldn't make it back. It was just because, turns out at the event, once I blacked out, I was coming up, apparently. I was coming up with fucking shit, taking people's stuff out. I don't know what the fuck I did. But he told me you were trying to get people's bags and their merch and stupid shit, you know? The come up again, always on the fucking come up, always hustling, always trying to flip some shit. And he said at some point you even flipped on me.
Damn.
And I have PTSD and you completely triggered me. And he's like, bro, NYPD had you and we had to, like, negotiate your release. And he's like, and this is in front of everybody at the fucking party. And obviously, I'm wearing a psychedelic hat. So everybody knew where the fuck I was coming from. Everybody knew what community. Everybody's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? You know, like, it's embarrassing. So the next morning, he's telling me all this. And he's like, I couldn't sleep here with you because I didn't know if you were going to fuck me up or whatever. Because he's like, you threatened me. And I'm just like, fuck. No recollection. Now, I know it was my fight or flight that I've been on fight or flight all my damn life since I was a fucking kid. I didn't know whenever I would black out, there's three minds: the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and fuck, why am I blanking out? Subconscious, unconscious, and conscious. Yeah. So when you're unconscious, your subconscious kicks in. My subconscious is fight or flight. I've been on that shit all my damn life. So I'm acting a fool. When you see red or how they see it in the movies, like you're not thinking about anybody. You're just doing your thing. So he's like, you made a hot mess. And I'm like, fuck, this whole time I thought I had gotten jumped. He's like, nobody jumped you. It was just, you're acting a fucking fool. You got kicked out and went PD and all that shit. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, this is day one. I have a whole ass conference to go to. I make it to the PI house the next morning. And I'm just there like, fuck. Shame, embarrassed. Words out. Hey, this motherfucker did this yesterday at the board aid party.
Is that where you kind of start feeling like you're at the bottom of the pit?
Hell nah.
Not yet?
No, not at all. It was just a normal ass turn up.
The shame didn't do nothing to you?
Never. It was just for, again, empathy. I would just feel bad for that day. And Volt was a board ape holder, which is the founder of Psychedelics Anonymous. So he heard, and everybody hears. So cool. And now I'm like, I'm not drinking like that for the rest of the trip, which, again, I always go out with a bang day one. And we're at the PA house. I'm meeting people, and I'm taking it slow, but at the same time, it's in the back of my head, like fuck, like I'm fucking up. Cool, whatever. The rest of the conference was dope. July, that was July or June. Cool. So now, after the conference, Psychedelics Anonymous incorporated the talk therapy with the NFT. So now you have access to a therapist. Unlimited fucking sessions for free. I didn't know. A session was like about $150 to $200, depending on your therapist. They're expensive. I still never fucking signed up. But I'm listening to spaces more and more. And now that I met people in NFTLA, NFT NYC, and they party with me, so we're all kicking it on Twitter. Fast forward, and I'm still blacking out, personal life, on desmadre. Full speed ahead. We fast forward to what was it? August. Yeah. Was it? Yeah, it was August. We fast forward to August, and now I have a fucking blackout, and now I'm having it here in the hood with my partners, and then I do some dumb shit that day, and that's when I'm like, all right, cool. Like, let me get into this whole therapy thing that everybody talks about, And when that happens, I go into therapy for the first time in my motherfucking life. Like,
virtual or?
It was Zoom, yeah. And
through the NFT, right?
Through the NFT, I booked it because they were like, "Hey, you need help." I was like, "All right."
And you go into it with an open mind, or still kind of like,
nah?
Fuck it, let me just see what's up.
I knew I fucked up. I knew I fucked up like bad, and I'm like, whatever. I didn't know what to expect. Again, I don't know. Mental health therapy to me is just for crazies.
Yeah, for sure.
You're on meds, antidepressants. Yeah, the same. And for me to open up, you could be my fucking. Hell no. That shit ain't happening. I've known you for years. You still don't know me.
Back then. Now you think you're different?
I think I'm a hell yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
So I feel like today,
I'm very vulnerable. I'm very open. I wouldn't even be talking about this shit.
Yeah.
Like, how do you incriminate yourself? Like, hell no. None of that. But it helps to be vulnerable because you don't know who's listening and you don't know what you might trigger, what they've been through.
What they can share with you.
They could share with me, or you set them off in their path.
Facts.
And that's how I learned, by hearing people share. And I was just like, fuck, that sounds like me. Fuck, like, damn. Like, it makes my fucking night look like Disneyland compared to what the fuck they've been through, suicide, this and that. And I'm like, fuck, okay, cool. So sharing is very important for me. Being vulnerable now, it's easy. A lot of crying. A lot of crying came out. Again, letting whatever is in there trapped, because the body keeps the score.
Yep.
Shout out to that book too.
So that first therapy, how'd it go?
Whack.
You didn't feel nothing from it?
No, it was a male. He was a male, and I'm talking to him, and at some point he's like, dozes off. And I'm like, fool, you're sleeping?
Oh, he dozed
He
off.
dozed off, bro.
No
And I was like,
way.
this motherfucker's falling asleep. Whatever. I booked with him again, and then what he's telling me is like, bro, the most generic shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're not paying
Reading a
attention
script.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're off of script. So I couldn't connect. Again, spaces. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I was like, well, fuck. Let me book with a female then. You know, like I didn't want to share my shit with a female, especially the way I am. I'm like, fine. Let me get uncomfortable. Practice what they're saying. So I get uncomfortable. I schedule a meeting with a female. It was fucking putting the key into my journey. I didn't turn the key yet, but I put the key in there. I put the key in there, and she just held space. I didn't know what that meant. She just held space. Somebody that holds space is somebody that just listens. You can say whatever you want to say, the most fucked up thing, and they have no bias. They're just listening to no judgment, no nothing. Again, back then I didn't know that. In my mind, she's gonna be fucking judging me and putting
criticizing.
all that,
Yeah.
all that. But I think it was that first session, or at least in my mind. She tells me, why are you here? And I was like, look, when I'm sober, when I'm like right now, I'm cool as fuck. Like, just me, you know? Not a bone in my body that's angry or any, at least I thought. And I'm like, but when I drink, I get physical, I get very, very angry, and there's a lot of fighting in me, like demon. She's like, cool. She's like, all right, Phelipe, like, you just gotta understand, in order for us to move forward, you're gonna have to move backwards. I didn't know what that meant. And she's like, you're like an onion. There's many layers to you that you don't know, that you need to unpack. All right, cool. I still didn't know what the hell she meant, but here I am. Weekly, twice a week, 3 times a week.
Were you looking forward to those sessions as you're going into them?
Yeah. It got to that point where I was just, fuck. Like, I just want to.
You need a release.
Yeah, because things were getting out of control in my life at that point. And it's like, I knew it. I knew I was up against the wall. I knew I was against everything around me was going to shit because of my actions, you know. So at some point, you know, I was very open with her as much as I could. And
because you were still holding back, right?
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Hell yeah. You don't ever go into therapy.
Absolutely. Like full on.
No way.
Yeah, it takes time to
takes time. Again, she was just holding space, but letting me get comfortable. Letting me be the one to ease up into it. And it took a while. So that's August, September. October comes around. Yeah, October.
And during this time, are you still drinking heavily?
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Like crazy. Like, we had 20% off discount at Whole Foods. Plus any fucking...
And they have a bunch of
any
IPA
brewery,
selection.
we get industry discount. There's the bar next door. I mean, alcohol is just fuck. It was just everywhere all the time. And so October rolls around, which is my birthday. Some shit happened around my birthday where I was just like, fuck. Like, it fucked me up. You know, it fucked me up. And at some point, my therapist is like, Phelipe, you've been asking for change, right? I was like, yeah. She's like, you're manifesting it. She's like, it's coming, but it's not gonna be the way you want it to come. You want change? Cool, change is coming. But you just know before change comes, shit is gonna crash and burn. And she's like, and you're going full speed ahead. It's like, yeah, cool. It was all bad. October, November. And then it's Art Basel.
You went to that?
Yeah. Miami.
Damn.
Art Basel December. NFTs.
Jesus.
So Psychedelics Anonymous was hosting a fucking...
Is that when they had that ATM against the wall?
I don't know.
An ATM with like you put your thing in, whoever has the highest like money
Like
in the
a
bank account
scoreboard?
is like a scoreboard?
Oh, I've seen that, but no, I
Okay.
didn't make it to that.
Or is that year the banana one?
But and Sagares Anonymous is hosting a party, so I have to be there.
For sure.
Catch a flight
With your hats?
again. No, this time I didn't make hats.
No hats?
Beforehand, because I'm like, fuck flying with them, because they wanted to charge me.
Yeah.
I'll make them afterwards, which I did. I mean, I even shipped hats to Malta. Malta is an island off the Mediterranean over there. Be crazy shit.
Crazy.
So we get to our Basel. Night one. Here we go
crazy.
again. We go crazy. Black out. When I black out, I fell asleep. And when they tried to wake me up, I snapped on whoever
Damn, bro.
it was. The next day, hey, like, can you apologize to so-and-so? I'm just like, fuck. Again? You know, whatever. We go through our Basel. Crazy. We full speed ahead, our Basel, and I didn't black out again, but I had done that little dumbass incident. So because of whoever I was with, you know, our Basel went great. Like, I had never been around a entire city that was on party mode for the entire week.
Yeah.
If you've never been at Art Basel, like, I would highly encourage you guys to go to Art Basel. It's a freaking turn up. It's not, and then you don't have to be turned up to a million or drinking anything. It's art.
And that's a good thing. That it's kind of like for creatives, or at least it started that way. It did start that way.
Cool, but I do some damage in Basel. So that same group I was with, they were like, "Well, we're going to South by Southwest. See y'all there." So I come back December, around New Year's, shit hit the fan. And what my therapist had called out started happening. Now it's like my life is just, personal life is just falling apart. About 2 weeks into the New Year's, some shit happened at Whole Foods. Now I'm out of a career for the next, now I'm at a career of 13 years. Because at Whole Foods, you go from team member to team leader to leadership, store leadership. And, you're on salary, good money before Amazon. And that was the path that I was on. When COVID hit, I saw how the company didn't give a fuck anymore because Amazon, it was like, oh, somebody caught COVID, hire another 10. Somebody caught COVID, hire another 10. So it was just like plug and play. Yeah. And they really didn't care about you no more. And I was like, man, that's kind of where it started shifting. And by going to these conferences, so what do you do? I'm like, I work at Whole Foods.
Yeah, bro.
What?
It usually does get to that point, right? Where you kind of start moving up in the spaces, but you're still working a 9 to 5, and it's almost like,
what?
You start realizing, like, oh, these people accessing all these things.
Like fucking pulling up with like foreigns and shit.
And a lot of it is just risks. Like, they're more able to more comfortably take
what
risks.
That is. And fear is holding you back. Yeah. Comfort, and then again, you're very conditioned to be a worker. You're very conditioned to have these 9 to 5. You're very conditioned hourly. Oh, I know somebody that could get you in here. Now you're fucking on a schedule. And all right, at these conferences, I'm meetings, and I'm just like, fuck, Whole Foods. Whole Foods is my number one source of income, right? And I would be like, Whole Foods. But then I'll say, yeah, and I have a juice bar. Oh, you have a juice bar? And that would spark up more of a conversation with somebody than me having a career at Whole Foods, financially stable. I am not stable with juicing. It was not something that I focused on. But yet that was more interesting to somebody. Again, now I know the entrepreneur mind will fucking go there. Will take you there. Mm-hmm. But as I'm going through these conferences, I'm like, man, fuck this shit. Like, and then it's happening with COVID. The company switched from Amazon, Whole Foods to Amazon, and I'm just not all in no more. I'm just like, fuck
and
leadership. That ends January. Cool.
2023.
2023. It ends. Relationships end. Career ends. And then I'm in a spiral. Again, nobody knows because I'm perfectly myself, how I normally am. But I'm in a fucking spiral. Hard fucking core spiral. January 2023. And I go off for the next fucking... But I'm in therapy still. But while we were in therapy, you know, she told me, hey, things are gonna happen. I said, okay, cool. But in January, I kind of backed off the therapy because, again, now I'm going hardcore. And from there, January, February, March, that shit just is out of control spiral. Come April, you know, people had moved on in my life, but I'm just finding out that they're actively moving on, and it just triggered so much of like, I didn't know I was attached. I didn't know anxiety. I didn't know depression. I've never had to sit there and feel my emotions or even put a title to them or what's happening. I just know I'm fucking losing it. And here comes the day where I find shit out, and that I black out that night. The next day, I wake up and the realization that people had moved on triggered my anxiety so bad that I couldn't get off the couch. Plus, I'm hungover. And now I'm like, fuck, trying to book my therapist. She wouldn't fuck. I couldn't book her because she was no longer in the platform, I guess. And I'm like, man, I'm losing my shit. I even called the suicide line, not because I was suicidal. I've never been suicidal. But I just needed help to talk to my therapist, and they couldn't access her. And they were like, so are you suicidal? I was like, no, bitch. But if I was, I would have already done it. It's been like 2-3 hours trying to get a hold of my therapist, and I can't get to her. I just need to talk to somebody. Now I was really actively seeking to talk to somebody because I was bad. So like one of my coworkers calls me, and she's like, hey, just checking up on you. I was like, yeah, thanks, because I'm bad, right? So that's or I call her. I forgot what the fuck it was. But I call a female. I open up, and she's like, damn, you did all that? I was like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm going through it this morning. And she's like, well, you know, calm down and this and that. I'm like, fuck. She actually calmed me down, but I'm like, fuck, I can't get off this couch. So what do I do? And I'm just like losing my shit. And then, you know, through Psychedelics Anonymous spaces, I've been hearing about psychedelic ceremonies and this. And so now I'm like, fuck, so desperate that I'm like, well, let me pay attention to what the fuck they really been saying. Psychedelic ceremonies. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, I didn't know what that meant. But I know people that were doing sweat lodges, you know, and somebody in West Adams was doing sweat lodges. So I reached out to him, and I was like, hey, I would love to go sweat. How do I get into it? And he's just like, Baja California Sur, gave me an Instagram to reach out to. And I think he said good, buena suerte or some shit. I don't know what he said, but that was the moment where everything changed, because now I have a source to finally go into ceremony. And I hit up that Instagram. Turns out to be a shaman in Mexico, in Baja California. So I hit him up, and I was like, hey, so-and-so sent me, and I would like to go sweat. And he's like, what's wrong? I said, everything. And he's like, yeah, you don't need to sweat. He's like, you need sapo. And I was like, the fuck?
Damn.
Sapo to me in Spanish is
Frog.
Toad. And clueless or what that is. Clueless. And I was like, okay. That was like a Monday, I think it was. And I was that Monday, I think it was a Monday, and I hit him up, and he's like, well, how fast do you want to come? And I was like, this Saturday, because that's like, to me, the fastest way I could get to Tijuana. Because I do have my ride, but me being the way I was, there's no license, no tags, no, reckless shit. So I was like, cool, I'll be there. I started asking questions. I told him, Sapo, what is Sapo? He said, psychedelic. What's a psychedelic? And I told him, oh, like ayahuasca. He's like, no, stronger. And I was like, whoa. Like, it hit me. I was like, fine. Let's do it. And Saturday, cool Saturday. Now that I know what's coming, I had already set up myself with the gym. This is where I pick up working out again. So I had gone to the camp and asked. I've been hearing about the 6-week challenge, lose 15 pounds and all this, and you get your money back or whatnot. But there was people, coworkers that I had done that had gone through the challenge and lost weight. And these people that I never in my damn life imagined they could just, lose weight or look better, but they were. And I was like, what? This works. So I went and they're like, hey, the challenge starts in 2 weeks or 3 weeks if you want to jump on. So it just happened to be that fucking Monday was the start of the challenge.
Oh shit! Everything just aligned for you.
Yeah, and there's a picture. I took a picture. 256 pounds.
Damn, bro.
I still went fucked up. Still fucking.
To TJ.
No, to camp.
Oh,
to the camp. Hungover, just to go take the fucking picture. But I was fucked up. I was all bad and anxiety and everything. So I have the shaman. Cool. We have it set up for Saturday. So that week I was on the camp already. And I said, you know what? For me to like work out and lose those 15 pounds and beat this challenge, the drinking has to be cut out. So that's how this whole shit started. Like it wasn't, oh, I'm gonna be 3 years in, like I'm gonna quit drinking. Nah, hell no. It was never
maybe
about...
not consciously, but it seems like it all leads up to that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to have a connection from NFTs to end up where you ended up.
For partying to healing.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was never that way for me. So again, I attribute this whole new me to COVID, because COVID was the first time in my damn life that I was able to, that I had no access to anyone and I had to be in place. Like
with yourself.
With myself. Just pause.
Taking stuff.
Yeah, because I was always 1,000 miles per hour. Cool. So that week I worked out and then, I needed a ride. So at some point I asked somebody and then they were tired of my shit. I was like, can you just give me a fucking ride? Like, I know it's your birthday and I know I'm 0 parts for me, but like, I just need a ride.
And they presented it to you as a one-day thing? Like you go there Saturday?
I had no fucking clue.
Damn.
I didn't know I was getting kidnapped. I was getting robbed. I didn't know I was coming back. There was no address, nothing. But I am so desperate that I knew, again, listening to Spaces, you have to surrender. And I was like, the fuck does that mean? This is what that meant. Like, you have to go in there open. So Wednesday or Thursday, he tells me, what's your name? And I answer, and then a day later, he just sends me coordinates. Not even a fucking address. He just sent me coordinates. So
that's
again,
that's how they work. That's how they work.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was just like open, trusting, and I was just like, plus whoever sent me there is a trusted source in my eyes, So I was like, fuck it. So he just tells me, hey, come on empty stomach. And basically that's your prep. All right. A la brava, just gotta do what you gotta do. So we get there. We get to Valle de Guadalupe. That's after Puerto Nuevo, before Ensenada, in the fucking mountains. And get there, meet him, and he starts setting up the space.
It was a one-on-one?
Yeah, with the person that took me. And starts prepping up the space, and at some point everything's set up, and then he tells me, do you pray or you meditate? I've never been religious. My parents always were at La Placita Alberta for baptisms, but that was about it, like even then they were not freaking religious. So I said, no, I don't know how to pray. No, I don't meditate. I had tried meditating. I told him, yeah, I meditate, because I was on the app Headspace. Somebody in Psychedelics Anonymous. I asked for help too. I was just like, hey, like I'm going through shit. Like I'm going through it. And then one of the homies on the Discord for SoCal Psychedelics Anonymous was like, hey, my job pays for Headspace through my code. I don't use it. You could have it. So I started practicing meditation because I was really desperate. I was fucking desperate. Like I couldn't control my emotions. It was just fucking out of whack, imbalance. So I was practicing guided meditations for 10 minutes, but those, so by the time I got there, I had a sense, but there was no real practice. So he tells me, you meditate, you pray. I said, well, no prayer, but I kind of meditate. He's like, well, it's simple. He's like, close your eyes, This is our mother. This is Mother Earth. Nuestra madre. Pídele que te guíe, que te cure, que te enseñe. And just repeat that. All right. I close my eyes and I just start repeating those words. And then at some point, you know, he comes up with a fucking pookie pipe. And I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, like, I gave him that look like, what?
And did you see the frog?
Hell no, there's no frog. But it's like straight pookie pipe. And I'm like, nah, this ain't the shit I signed up for it. But he's like, no, this is toad venom, which looks like crystals. And you have to burn it. So, and 5-MeO DMT is a sapo, the official, you know, fucking scientific name. 5-MeO DMT. Bufo, as it's known as well. And it's the Sonoran toad frog that's only found in the Sonoran Desert, which is halfway in Mexico, halfway in the U.S., Texas. So that frog is only found there in the entire world. Organically. If you want to do synthetically, they've done it in labs. And, you know, they do synthetic stuff. But the real deal shit off of a toad, the venom, it's, well, not the venom, but the secretion is right there. Cool. And I was just like, all right. So he lights it up. I'm scared shitless. Scared. Everything, every emotion, every waves is just coming. I'm just like, fuck. Boom. So he's like, you're going to hit it. And at some point, I'm going to put you in this ground, face first, face down. And you're going to feel like this floor disappears. And you're gone after that. He's like, you might feel alone. You might feel this, and that. But just know I'm here. Listen for my voice and I'll guide you. Yeah, whatever. So I hit it. And it was like, I'm hitting it. Boom. Instant fucking rocket, bro. Like, holy fuck. 1,000 miles per hour just.
Do you remember the feeling, the visual?
Hell yeah. I'm getting chills just now. Like, man. And he puts me face down and the chanting and the music and everything. Now we're in fucking ceremony. Now I am in spirit world. Like, you know, never in my life did I had like respect for spirituality, or like when they say brujeria, this, like, what the fuck? Get out of my face with all that dumb shit. Yo, like, if you've never gone through something, you won't understand it. But if you've been in ceremony, you know.
Energy's
You know. Energy is
right?
real. Spirits are real. Like, this, it is real. There's another realm, and psychedelics will take you there. You know. So yeah, full speed ahead. Puts me down. And it was like when they say visuals and everything, to me there was none. No. It was just me against the toad.
Did you recognize yourself in the moment, or
like, so as soon full speed, right? And I start fighting.
Oh shit.
And the toad was
your
like,
body fight or flight, no?
Yeah, fight or flight. Again, now I know. I didn't know what the fuck was happening there. So it brings out what
you're trying to hide.
You need. Like, you might go in there for one thing, but
there's something else.
There's something there. Yeah. So the medicina will show you what you need, not what you want, basically. I start fighting it. And the more I would fight it, the more I would build my wall. And the more I would build my wall, the less I was breathing. So the more I would fight it, the less I could breathe. And the more I was building my wall. And it was just like, keep going. And I'm like, keep going. Fighting it. Keep going. And the more I would say keep going, the more I would fight it. And it got to a point where I'm like, I can't fucking breathe. The more it was like, keep going. Damn. And it's just daring me to keep going. Keep going.
Keep building your wall.
I met my match. The wall kept getting bigger and taller. And then it got to a point where I just stopped breathing. And I'm just like, and that's where I died. Like, legit. I died in that fucking mountain. That was the last breath of that knucklehead. And then I'm just here. Shaman say, let go. And it was like, once he said that, I was like, and I took my first breath. And it was instant fucking bliss. Immediate crying. And like the pressure I had in my head, gone. To this day, it never came back. I guess all that stress, all that anxiety, all that released, and it was fucking the highest I ever been in my damn life. It's just peacefulness. This is the first time I could say I was in peace. Like, I didn't even know what peace was. I seriously did not know what peace was until like I let go for the first time and I'm born again. And it was like, what the fuck just happened? And it's like that, like that, like that. Um, he had his head down, so when I come to my senses, I'm still with my head down in the ground. I open my eyes and everything's so vibrant, and I'm crying and I'm just laughing, laughing and just giving thanks to my mother Earth and gratitude, so much gratitude. And that again, that was the first time that I was like,
You
holy,
felt reborn.
for sure, for sure, for fucking sure. And it was just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, seriously, I never even imagined a world like that, you know, where like another realm, straight up. So, you know, I come back at some point. He adds rape after. I sneeze, purge, whatever comes from the rape. Purging, not like throwing up, but like mocos and spitting and whatever. And that was that. All in all, I think ceremony was like an hour, less,
shit.
30
That's
minutes.
crazy.
Yeah, like that, like
And
that.
and the
like
person you
that.
came with was still there.
Yeah.
She witnessed.
Yeah.
Did she notice a different you when you came
Oh.
back? What is she? What is he or they remember?
Yeah. So that is my partner. Like, that has been my ride or die. But she had checked out too. Like,
Yeah.
she was done with me. And so that happens, right? And because it was her birthday, I ended up staying in Valle de Guadalupe at we ended up getting a spa day, you know, after ceremony.
Damn.
So I do the whole ceremony thing. Immediately I knew, I'm like, holy fuck, like I'm back as my new self. Like, I knew I had died. Like, I died. I stopped breathing. And it was the ego death. Legit ego death that day. Cool. So we go into the resort. I get a cranial massage at at the spa, and it activated the sapo again. And I'm like,
The fuck.
like, damn. Like,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm in and out. But there's, you know, cold plunging, and you're straight looking at, it's wine country right there, because by the way, Guadalupe is high enough to like produce wine. So,
Yeah, the
you
ground
know,
is fertile.
yeah, the ground is fertile and everything's in the land there too. So cool. That happens. Coming, I go and I tell my therapist. I had told that I was gonna go do that. And then I needed something to, you know, like, I always would hear them, when you start integrating back from a psychedelic experience, obviously now there's neuroplasticity, the critical periods in your brain whenever trauma was stored gets to open up. And now I'm open, and I heard I'm open for the next 6 months. So I'm able to rewire, create new neuroplasticity, and become a different self. So I resource to audiobooks. Along those, I don't know if it was before the ceremony or during that whole fucking thing. Exactly, I don't know what time it was, but I picked up the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And the way he grew up is the same way I grew up. I grew up in domestic violence. I come from Guatemalan immigrant parents that's how they're brought up. Te va a la verga, hijo de la gran puta, and it's the normal, you know? So I would see it. Alcoholism, again, he was a life of the party. Always having parties in my house, drinking, but when you were black out, there was always coke around, all kinds of shit. He'd always tell me, look, this is it. Like, I'm never gonna tell you not to do something, but just how people act. And I was like, yeah, people crying, fighting, and I was like, hell no, I'm never doing any of that shit. Never doing any coke. But I grew up in that lifestyle, so I ever since me witnessing all that, I didn't know I was in fight or flight from being a little kid. So David Goggins grows up the same way, where his parents, well, when he was a little kid, his parents his dad owned the skating rink, which was the family business, and his dad would make him work at the fucking skating rink, cheat on the mom right in front of her, alcohol, and then once they got home, the mom would say something about the cheating, and boom, 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 he would fucking beat her up, and then he'll beat up the kids. Same fucking lifestyle was. I'm like, fuck. I grew up the same way. My dad had the business there. He'll be like, si no van a trabajar, no les va a, ¿quién puta les va a dar de comer? So he'll put it on Vermont and 8th Street, right in the corner, handing out business cards from 3 p.m. to like 8 p.m. And I'm just like fucking embarrassed. I'm like, fuck, my elementary homies are passing by, and I'm just like handing out business cards. And I'm like, fuck this shit. At home over there, trimeando, you know, that's just cutting fucking all kinds of shit. The zippers, button, anything that came to mind, I was there. I was exposed to it. Like, women naked all the time, you know, I'm holding the metros and whatever. Like, he exposed us to, and I'm so grateful for it, and I never had an issue with it. But it's just, as a kid, I was like, man, fuck this shit. You could be running around doing something else, but it's just so, it was embarrassing. And it's not just me, it's my brother, my other brother, and my sister, and my little brother. So it's 4 or 5 of us, and we're always rolling deep, and I'm just like, fuck, like a little magic school bus right there, everybody behind. So that's the type of lifestyle I had as growing up. Goggins. And then Goggins had the same thing. And I'm like, fuck, I'm paying attention. Finally, a fucking book that resonated with me. Me trying to be financially stable, I started going through subscriptions, and then Audible was something I was recurring payment every month. So I called them and I was like, hey, I'm trying to cancel my subscription. I didn't even know I had this. They're like, well, sir, if you cancel, you have 24 credits unused and they'll go away. And I was like, 24? So that means 2 years I've been paying for this? Because it was $14.99 every month, 1 credit. And they're like, yeah. So it goes away. I was like, well, fuck that. I ain't canceling. Let me use these 24 books. And that's where the books came in. So I get Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And he's talking about when he's in school, he is bien inquieto, always talking, and can't concentrate and can't retain information. I'm like, fuck, that's me. Like, we're shooting the shit here. I'm in class. We could be in class, and I'm going to be like, what's up? Hey. Like, always jittering. Because nobody knows that I'm getting beat the fuck up at home. Nobody fucking knows I'm going to sleep at 2, 3 in the morning, yet I'm at school at 7, 8 in the morning. Crazy. Like, nobody knows. And my diet, it's candy. My diet, I'm wired the fuck up on sugar the entire fucking time. Sodas. Like, now that I go back, and I was like, fuck. I've been set up from the gate. Set up from the gate to be a hot mess. And my parents didn't know any better. Like, I'm an EBT baby and food stamp baby, so we're going to fucking Smart and Final instead of the ice cream truck, and we're buying buckets of gummy worms, cases of Rolos, cases of soda, everything as wholesale, as cheap as you could get, since there was 5 kids, but it's all sugar, nothing but processed shit, all fucking candy, and just horrible. So in school, I liked school. I loved it, actually. But there's no way a traumatized kid could pay attention for so much time. Like, shit that caught my attention, cool. And math was easy to me because I love playing with the fucking con el vicio, con Kian 31, and I'm learning numbers through cards. In the shit show, you know, like with the gamblers. I learned to gamble since I was a kid, but because I'm picking up numbers and I seen it. So that to me, it was fascinating about numbers. Like, I knew 8 and 7 was an automatic 5, but you know, it just clicks because you're playing cards. And again, I don't know, gambling and all that shit is just no bueno. But I picked it up. So when David Goggins is talking about for information retaining and all this shit that he couldn't retain it, and I'm like, you could tell me something 3-4 times, maybe it sticks. But it was just whatever. It's not paying attention. I'm not into it, so I don't care. And when they die, so at some point he's peeing on the bed. At school, he couldn't stay awake. He can't concentrate. Always into some shit. And he was like, I was always a liar, a cheater, where I always got away with cheating and lying and copying exactly like me. Like I had homies, so and I knew who's smart, so I'm going to that person, copying, passing, just getting by. So at some point, David Goggins in school, when he's stuttering and all this shit is coming up, they put him in. They're like, well, let's take him to a therapist and see what the fuck's up. And they diagnosed him with toxic stress. So when he says that in the book, I was like, what the fuck is toxic stress? So I Googled it and I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, this is me. This is me. And immediately, bro, like immediately I hit up my therapist and I was like, I scheduled a meeting with her. And in that session, I was like, hey, I figured it out. And she's like, what? I was like, toxic stress. Like, that's me. This is what the fuck's going on. She's like, congratulations, you figured it out. She's like, now go read The Body Keeps the Score. And yeah, I finished the David Goggins book and my mind shifted. My mind completely shifted, where it was like, callous your mind, fuck the excuses, and it doesn't matter what piece of shit. Up until 34, if you knew me, piece of shit. In every way you could imagine. You know, lying, cheating, stealing, all of it. And up until I smoked Sapo and that book and drinking.
Of the stress.
34 years old, a piece of shit. If you knew me, yeah, you'd be like, yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Well, I'm glad we started that way, bro. We came on into your backstory, the tipping point, the bottom.
Yeah.
So I think the perfect way to end is you tell us your name, who you are today, after your rebirth, your connection to West Adams, and what do you do with Phresh Juice?
You know, today, from there on, cool, I do 6 weeks. I lose 18 pounds. They're like, hey, you get to run the challenge back. 1 week break. I run another 6 weeks. I lost 17 pounds. So in 13 weeks, I lose 35 pounds.
Damn, doubled it.
Now I'm not. So first 6 weeks, I didn't drink. And I was just like, well, for the next challenge, I shouldn't drink. So now I'm 13 weeks out with no alcohol. And I'm just like, well, fuck, I feel great. But fuck, everything is pulling me back. Everything that I was is there. Now it's Coachella season, EDC season. And I am fucking itching like, fuck, I should be there. And I know what's happening. And, you know, the trigger, I mean, when you think back of an emotion, it just triggers everything.
Sensations.
Everything.
Facts.
So you go right back into whatever. 10 years could have passed. And you think of a thought that has an emotion tied to it. And then it comes right back. You're right back then. That's PTSD. So I didn't know I had PTSD. I didn't know I had attachment. I didn't know fight or flight. So I'm starting to audit myself. I go through the book, Can't Hurt Me. I mean, I do Can't Hurt Me. Then I do The Body Keeps the Score. And that one right there was just like, fuck. That's where I start taking inventory and I started really going back. You know, besides all this shit that happening with the domestic violence, everything, like, nobody fucking knew there was sexual abuse behind that, even younger, like 4 or 5 years old. And then I think that's like the biggest thing that had my attention throughout my whole damn life. So I never really opened up to anybody about that. And again, now I'm vulnerable as fuck when it comes to it because I had to identify the root cause of who I was and why the fuck I was the way I was. And that was the bigger thing than anything else. So I start putting all that shit together with my therapist as the new self. And I'm like, cool, we're working through sexual trauma. We're working through trauma, domestic violence, verbal, you know, physical, mental, all that shit. And I was able to process finally what the fuck had been stored in me this whole entire life. And because of David Goggins, I started running. There was no like, oh, run club or anything in the beginning. It was just,
you run by yourself, essentially.
I need to run because this motherfucker's running, and whatever's working for him, I need to be on that mindset. So I really fucking followed every step. Like, shout out to fucking David Goggins. That fool became like my dad in a sense. Like, I never had that leadership, that mentorship. Nobody to be like, hey, this way and this how you do it. He fucking gave me that. And so I'm picking up running. I go, everything starts switching in my damn life. Like now, again, my girlfriend, she, after those 7 weeks, she only stood there because my freaking dogs mated, and they're not supposed to mate. They made it, and she was like, look, I'll hang out a month or two until the puppies are born, and then I'm out. But that was right at the beginning of my ceremony. So now she's seeing the transformation. She's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
35 pounds down, doesn't drink, and now meditating every fucking... After ceremony, I picked up meditation. Probably the biggest game changer in my life.
Still for free with your homie.
Well, no, now I'm by myself, like in the bench, and now it's like 3 months in, and I'm like still uncomfortable, but I'm like, I know where I have to find peace. And now I could drop in. I close my eyes right now, and I'm right in. But I picked up meditation, cold showers every day. I'm starting to eat better, starting to run. I'm working out. I am consciously getting rid of what doesn't serve me, curating my space. Social media, start taking down accounts that are only bullshit. So I start really curating what's around me, and it was just focusing on juice, because I didn't know, you know, again, Whole Foods not there no more. So I don't have a job. So it's like, now it's juice, workout, meditate, repeat. And that's like probably the mantra now. Right? Juice, workout, meditate, repeat. And 6 months go by. I go to the MAPS conference, like 2-3 months into the healing. MAPS is the Multi-Association Psychedelic Science Convention in Denver. And there I am now in a space where psychologists, psychiatrists, neurologists, like the motherfuckers of the brain, the wellness field, I'm around them, and I am picking up game now where I'm like, what the fuck? I had a rapé ceremony there with some shaman from Brazil that really just kicked my ass. I had ceremony in MAPS. Cool. I meet up this is where my boy Burton comes into the picture. He's a neurologist. I meet up with him, and he's like, hey, you know, I talked with him, and he's like, you know, MDMA therapy sounds, in a clinical setting, sounds like something that would work for, especially for traumatized people like you. So 6 months in, now it's October. It's my first sober birthday. And I tell my therapist, I'm like, hey, I'm the one that sets up all this alcohol turn up fuels, like party ragers. So I'm like, but I don't want it to be this way this year. And she tells me, well, why don't you organize a baseball game? And I was like, perfect. In the hood, there's a park. We're going to do a basketball game. So that was my first birthday that wasn't a party with alcohol. It was me organizing a mindful event by hosting a basketball game and having my homies together. I told them, I'm gonna just supply the basketball game. If you guys want to fucking come through with your alcohol, whatever, that's you. But I'm not hosting that. I'm hosting the basketball game with water. Cool. My first sober birthday. I do an MDMA ceremony in a clinical setting, and everything that was coming up I had worked through. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? 6 months in, I'm working the whole thing. And then I get invited through that space. I make it, December comes around, and you know what? Everything that I was in my previous life, like a party animal for Christmas and everything, hit me in Christmas. Damn. I woke up and I started crying, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do today? Like, to me, Saturday, like Christmas was always like organizing the party or doing this, and I'm at home like, who the fuck am I? Like, I did not know who I was. You
lost your sense of identity a little bit?
Yeah, it was just like realizing that I am no longer that person.
Yeah.
And it's very, very, if you haven't gone through sobriety, you really don't, you can't put that into, you know, thoughts or words, because you really become somebody else.
Yeah, for sure.
You still, to anybody else that doesn't know what you're doing, you're bullshit. You're lying. You're fucking being fake right now. Like, who the fuck are you pretending to be? But I knew what the fuck was going on, and I was just like, fuck. Christmas hit me hard. So for New Year's, I ended up, well, I'll rewind it back to that. October was my first 10K in, what was it? The Run the 110. They closed down the 110 freeway for a 10K. So me and the homies signed up. And that was my first official fucking race, 10K. And then that just kind of became a thing where I was like, you know what, next month I'll have a a race too. So Thanksgiving rolls around. I do the
Turkey
10K, the drumstick in fucking the valley. And it was just, you know, one event a month. So then for Christmas or for like December, I was like, fuck, New Year's gonna hit me. I knew because of Christmas what had happened. I didn't even want to leave my house. It was just so fucked up. But I was like, nah, let me get uncomfortable with let me get comfortable with the comfortable. I went through Christmas. As soon as I pulled up to my mom's house, I fell asleep over there. I was like, fuck, found peace. But it was just me really processing. So for New Year's, before New Year's came, I was like, I need a New Year's run. So I ended up going with mountain runners. Shout out to mountain runners. They run trails to Griffith Park. And it was my first time running 10 miles. Kicked my ass. So I got myself tired that New Year. So by the time New Year's did come around, I was just...
knockout.
Yeah.
Is this going to be your first Ironman?
Yeah. From that build up. So it went 10K. January happened. All this time I'm at the camp. Without the camp doing HIIT classes, I don't run as much as what I'm doing. Cool. February, I do my first half at OC for the fuck, I forget what it was. But I had bought my LA Marathon ticket because I'm like, you better fucking put it
26
off.
miles.
So come March, I'm running my first LA Marathon.
Oh.
And then I get to I do my first LA Marathon, and nobody could fucking believe this fucking party animal is running the fucking marathon. Like, what? So April rolls around, and right at the end of March, I knew April 1st was rolling around. And that was the day that the previous year I found out people had moved on in my life. So that was the day that triggered everything. And I was like, fuck that day. So this year, now that I'm being mindful and now that I understand, like, let's make something happen to now set a new memory for that date instead of the fucked up one. So as a fucking, and I ended up leasing a place to build my juice bar, brick and mortar.
Oh shit.
You know, in order to bring energy to the place. Well, I'm like, well, what the fuck? How do I build community? Back to NFTs. You build community first, then you drop the project. And I was like, fine, I'll build community first and drop the juice bar. The spot was empty. So I go and April 1st, I say, I'm gonna host a fucking run as a joke. It was like literally April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
And then obviously homies pulled up, about 9-10 of us. Cool, we run it. Never in our fucking life that I think it was gonna be a run club. So then when are we doing it again? Wednesday. Fuck it. Wednesday. Cool. Wednesday we do it. We make another flyer. When are we gonna do it? See you next week, coach. And I'm like, who the fuck?
Like,
coach, you know, like that was just given to me, and I'm like, sure. And then through the space, I got invited to ayahuasca that April or May. I don't know, April, May. So I do like a week, I do a month of the run club, and then I go into ayahuasca. And then I'm a year in my whole journey, and I'm thinking, you know, fuck, I went through Sapo. I had done Sapo like 2 more times after that too.
For real?
Oh,
Yeah,
no way.
every 6 months you're supposed, I mean, for you know, maintenance.
Yeah, for sure.
So I went back in December by myself. And I was just like, okay, now I am starting to understand how you move in that, you know, realm.
How much is it? Is it like a set price, or was it different per person?
I mean, I guess it's different for people and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't expensive. I can't really tell you exactly what it was, but it was hundreds. Yeah.
Okay.
So they invite me to ayahuasca, and this is my first time sitting with like, fuck. I go in there open, like, we're here. I've already done ceremony. Yeah, whatever. Cool. Sit there, sit, drink. It's like, fuck what you thought. Fuck what you've been healing. Fuck you as a kid. Fuck, we're gonna go back beyond that. Some generational shit. My dad had been passed away for like what, 15 years by then. I don't know the number. It's another thing that I decided not to remember, like when he died, like the date. Like I don't want to fucking know that day. I know his birthday. I know when certain shit happened, but like his date when he passed, I don't care. So I drink, and within fuck, I don't know, first 20 minutes, I'm starting to see the geometrical patterns that everybody talks about. I'm just like, all right, cool. And then boom, shit gets dark. and very, very, very dark. My dad messed around a lot with Puro, San Simon, and Botanicas and all this shit. And I always was like, what the fuck you doing? Never gave any respect of any of that. But they ended up saying that somebody was tan envidioso de his work. So they do brujeria, la yada yada, and that's why he lost his family to alcohol, himself, and eventually died. That was what they were saying. That's the brujeado. Never paid attention to that shit. Never thought it was real. Drink ayahuasca. I go right to all that. Damn. Immediately. Dark as fuck. And I look over and it's my dad right there. Like, my fucking dad is in my face, but never gave me his eyes. And I'm looking at him like, what? And he's next to his brujo. And he's like in karma land, bro. He never fucking crossed over anywhere. Like, he's paying for all that brujeria shit that he did right there. Like, next to his brujo, like a little bitch, castigado. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then they start brewing. And I just hear, ayahuasca. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? And all that energy starts going through me. And I get up and I'm like, I'm out. This is in their ceremony. I'm in ceremony physically here, but I'm in spirit world in that ceremony with my dad. And once I am part of that, like nothing but brujos and maestros, like top of the top, you know, that work, that circle among shamans, I started feeling all that negative shit. And I'm like, I am out of the circle. So I got up and I started walking away and they're like, sit the fuck down. You're going to feel everything your dad did towards people, and everything that people did towards your dad is going to go through you too. So all brujeria that he did went through me, towards people went through me, and then anything that the people did towards him, I felt it. So I start getting hit and like, bro, I got rocked. I blacked out. I had not blacked out in years since I was already. So I blacked out. I woke up and they're like, hey, we need you in ceremony to close out. I woke up spooked out of my fucking life. Like, I had never been scared like how I was scared. Because I saw and felt everything. And I'm just like, holy shit. So the next morning, this is happening with a bunch of white folks. The next morning, I was like integrating, sharing in the circle. Well, we still have another day to drink. So that was just day one. Again, my biggest nights are always day one. It all makes sense, all the alignment. So the next morning we're integrating, and I was like, look, I feel like I gotta explain where I come from, just so you guys could get a sense of what the fuck was happening here yesterday. Because they told me, hey, you were rolling your eyes, you were speaking in tongue, you were grinding your teeth, and we've never seen some shit like that, you know. And I'm just like, just whatever lineage, whatever I come from, Guatemalan shit, it was in full display. So I told them, look, I come from the beliefs, cuando te pasan el huevo, con la ruda, está ojeado, this, whatever fucking realm that is, whatever portals or whatever curandero, whatever it is, that's something sacred, that's something spiritual, that's something that obviously there's traditions and, like, you know, passages or lineage that is embedded into you by your parents, because that's what comes with them. So I told them I come from all that, and what you guys saw, and I explained about my dad messing around with all that stuff. So whatever you guys saw yesterday was that. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to drink today, day 2, but whatever. Yeah, I was the maestro on day 1 told me, hey, have you ever drank? I said no. Well, do you want to dip your toes or you want to go head first? I said head first, and that's what happened. Day 1. So second day, I go back up. We start ceremony. He's like, same dose. Run it. Immediately. I drink, go sit down. Boom. I land right back to that circle. Now, my shaman is here next to me. And my dad's still right there. And I'm like, all right, I understand where I'm at. Like, I'm in very, like, maestro, shaman, brujos, top of the top circle. We're all here to settle whatever we need to fucking settle. And then night 1, they told me I couldn't purge. I was just, but they were like, you don't deserve to purge. The medicine needs to be in you. Like, I heard them and they're telling me, cool. Day 2, I land right back to the second. I'm like, fuck, here we go again. And then the maestro, the shaman leading the ceremony in spirit world tells me, do you understand what's going on here? And I said, yeah, clearly. Like, my dad fucked around. And he fucked around so bad he's stuck here. And and I'm here to settle the debt. And he said, yeah, but today we want yours. And when he said we want yours, now I start purging all my shit. And it was like the most intense shit I had ever gone in my life. Now day 2 is about me. Whatever dirt I've done, all that. There's a tab that they needed to fucking charge me, and they did. Cool. In the middle of that ceremony, everything becomes light, like boom, white. And my dad comes to me and tells me, ¿Ya viste lo que me pasó? I'm like, sí, usted la cagó. La que la cagó y está pagando. And he says, sí. Y la anda a decirle a tus hermanos lo que viste aquí. He's like, no dejes que se te desaparezca el apellido y dale verga con tu negocio. Boom, boom. I wake up and I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm in physical ceremony with everybody. High as a kite. And now I can hear the Icaros. Now I hear the music. Now I'm smiling like, fuck, what the fuck was that? Like, I needed to go
close that loop for you.
Yeah, it was some generational shit that was stuck there, and I hear about it, you know, but I never was like, yeah, full of shit. And again, if I would listen to myself now, 3 years ago, me talking now, I'd be like, fool, you've done drugs. You're way out. You're out of your fucking mind. But it's psychedelic. So that happens. It took me a week or 2 to recover. Like, beat down. I would go to the camp and I'm like, I'm so tired. And they told me, hey, be gentle. Like, the journey you took is not something that you're going to just recover. Like, pero yo siempre being the way I am, like full speed ahead. Nope. So I really had to go gentle. And then that's when the fucking run club, bro, just goes from 10, 15 to like 20, 30, 40, 50. Now we're getting fucking collabs here, collabs there, Hoka, then it's fucking Lululemon, Peloton, and what the fuck just happened? And everybody's like, what is going on? And I was like, ayahuasca. Ayahuasca. And yeah, whatever blockage was there, whatever needed to go get settled, this journey has taken me through there where it's just like, fuck, it wasn't just my own shit that I had to take care of. Like, I had to go settle my pops' beef, you know. And it's fucking crazy how all that ties up to who I am now and the business. And now for me, Run West Adams has become, I never wanted to step up to be a leader. I never wanted, which is fucking hilarious to say that, a leader, you know. The piece of shit, the liar, the stealer, the motherfucker that has been full of it the entire time now has a role. I understand my role. I understand my responsibilities. I understand what comes with being at the helm, you know, of something in a community like that. But through ceremony, I understood community. Through ceremony and mental health, I understand what creating space is. And when you show up for a run, everybody's going through their own demons throughout their day. But you show up to the run, and within those 30 minutes or an hour, everything goes away, at least for that little bit, because you're saying what's up to everybody, your community. Running is not easy. 3 miles is not going to come without fucking sweating, without effort, and losing your breath at some point. So what it did for me, I was like, cool. If people are trying to heal, trying to find space, trying to better themselves, I'll step up and I'll provide that. And that's what I've been doing. And it just never expected that everything that's coming, you know, like being recognized by the city, getting another Phresh Juice Bar gets an award, Run West Adams gets an award for being part of a mental health event. Like, what? Like, it's still, at some point I was like, I'm not being fake, obviously, but it's kind of like the imposter syndrome shit that I was just like, fuck. Like, there's so much dirt that I have on me and my name that for me to, like, get recognized now, wherever the fuck is coming, is just like, it's just really, really makes me think. I know the work I've done. I know the healing that I've done. I know it doesn't stop, and not by all stretch of imagination I'm saying that I'm fixed. No, but I'm not the person I used to be. That I know I've grown. Like, me settling the fuck down brought the whites. Seriously, as soon as I found peace, like, my body finally was able to fucking relax and just be in peace. Like, I've grown. at 34, that's when I grew up. I'm 37 now, so it's 3 years into the journey. But I tell people I'm 3 years old right now. I'm coming full speed because I got shit to catch up on. Like, I missed out on a lot. And in my business is where, like, I really have put all my fucking energy and my effort into it. Now I'm at 99 books in audiobooks. So I've rewired myself. I've gone through multiple ceremonies, not just, ayahuasca, wachuma, iboga. Like, I've done work and I've done integration, and the more rewiring, the more neuroplasticity, the more I open these critical periods, I've been able to put these books into me where I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna just follow. I'm gonna learn to manifest. I'm gonna learn to meditate. And the whole manifesting is every practice that I've been doing has been in the business. And that's where the quantum field, Joe Dispenza and everything. And I'm like, let me fuck around with this. And things just started happening where I'm like, how the fuck is this happening? But me setting the intention has been there where, like, there's nothing too big for me now to think about. Like, there's nothing way out where, like, you're crazy or, like, you're losing your shit or, like, that's too much for your imagination. Like, no. Whatever comes to my head, let's run it. And I sit down and I just... when I'm meditating, like, the first thing I say is, thank you, Mother. Thank you, God. Who's God? I never thought there was a God. But whoever that higher power is, cool. Shout out to you. Good morning. Thank you for allowing me another day. And I just start with my gratitude and whatever's going throughout my day, what I'm thinking about. And then I shut the fuck up and I'm just like, thank you for my business. Thank you for my growth, my customers. So I act as I already have it, and then it just starts coming. And that whole manifesting shit has just been a game changer. The book, The Secret, have you ever read that book?
Yeah.
That book really did it too. And Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I just been practicing. Like, that's been my teachers. And while I'm juicing, that headset is in me, and that's been my school. I rewired. I ended up at UCLA picking up fucking digital marketing. I'm USC to the fucking heart. West Adam. I'm showing up to fucking class with my West Adams Trojan color shit on, and I'm just in there like, I'm in a UCLA classroom right now. Like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even finish my high school, but I got to pay for that shit for me to go into UCLA, and that's where, like, things have been drastically changing. It's not even just change. It's like a whole 180 from the fucker that I was before.
What's the next step that you plan with, like,
oh man,
Phresh?
no, yeah, this shit is,
there's no fucking ceiling.
There is no ceiling. So
Yeah.
I know the next step, which eventually will come out by the end of this year. And that shit that just came,
Mind blown.
blows my fucking mind, because again, I'm not chasing anymore. I'm just attracting. And the juice bar, all organic, cold press, fresh juice bar with a pH. That's the handle. I just took the Whole Foods culture, adopted the same hippie OG basics, which is Whole Foods. It's organic, non-GMO, raw, nothing processed, none of that. So the juice, I don't have to sell it to you. You drink it and it speaks for itself, like how you feel with your body. I've been grinding since 2020 with the Phresh juice, and every book that you read on business, it always says it takes 5 years to even get to a fucking point where, like,
it's just more established.
Yeah, established.
It's running itself, kind of.
Yeah, I'm at year 6, and I got a phone call. I got a fucking phone call, and right after Coachella, because I was at Coachella illegally selling juice with a cooler. I had 100 juices, and with me being pedo at Coachella, waking up the next day hungover, I wish I had my own juice. So this time that I went, I took myself out of partying too. So this was my first Coachella, or second Coachella sober. I took myself out of that. But
did you learn to enjoy stuff like that without being sober?
I'm learning.
Yeah,
because there was no way. First year, there's no way, because I knew certain people were there, and they just triggered me. And I was like, why am I gonna put myself in that situation? Because I still wasn't. I had not processed my emotions yet. Like I knew. So even now, I'm like, well, you don't want to be there. Put yourself in that spot just to go through it and process it. But it was my first sober Coachella. I'm like, Jesus,
But it was
I needed to have a drink in my hand, legit. I needed to have a cup in my hand.
Psychological. Like having something in your hand,
yes,
for sure.
yeah. I needed to have something in my
definitely.
fucking hand, and I'm like, damn, like I didn't realize how fucking wired I was,
Facts.
you know. And again, I'm just always in the mix, so it's easy for me. But now I really had to. I'm relearning. It's not over. Any situation like raves, festivals, parties, clubs, or like bars, I'm comfortable now, but it took me a while. Like my heart would like, who am I gonna bump into? Like that type of stuff. And now with the juice bar, back to that. After Coachella, I sold out, and then I got a phone call saying we've been seeing what you're doing. Why don't you come pay us a visit? And I said, well, I can't because I'm leaving to Colombia. They're like, what the hell are you doing in Colombia? I'm like, I'm gonna go run a marathon. And like, well, when you come back, come visit, bring juice. Cool. I pulled up, went to visit, brought juice, had like a whole tour, like a 2-hour tour. After the tour, they were like, well, we really liked your juice, and would you consider fucking crazy? Would you consider coming to this place and operating your juice bar from here? Hell yeah. Like without hesitation. I'm like, I got no partners. I'm just, I'm the founder, I'm the person in charge, and hell yeah. Cool. Well, things run around this place by these rules, so let me go talk to certain people, and then we'll get back to you. All right, cool. 2 weeks later, they're like, hey, certain people want to meet you. Bring lots of juice and samples. All right, pulled up. Went through that meeting. A week or two later, they were like, somebody texted me back. They're like, congrats. We're moving forward with you. Bet. And that's been the process since April, May, June. We get to now where I'm at, and I'm this close.
Months away.
From contracts, signing, and then I'll be able to talk about what's coming up next, which is fucking crazy because I just signed the lease here at down the street, Washington, Normandy, for my kitchen in April. So I still have that lease for a year. And that was right at the beginning of April. Coachella's in the mid-April. So once I got that phone call, everything paused at this kitchen. Like the juicer I wanted to buy, I stopped. Like everything that I was going to put into this juice bar is at a standstill. Yeah. So right now I'm at that place where like when you're playing video games and you die and you're loading to like spawn into the next spot. That's where I'm at. And it's fucking crazy how like my whole background of Whole Foods, hustling, juicing, wellness, everything's about to just get tied the fuck up, and all the 95 bucks that I've done, everything, boom. Once this happens, and when this happens, is just I'm back at square zero, and I have no idea how it's gonna be, but I know it's gonna make fucking noise. Like it's gonna be some
all that knowledge that you've sucked
everything
in, it's gonna
is right there, and aligning myself and like that. And to me, fuck, man, being of service is like the number one thing that I never was. I was always selfish. It was always because you're on fight or flight, you're on survival mode, you're still looking out for yourself. But now that I'm all about service, holding space, giving back, being vulnerable, sharing, like guiding, mentoring, none of that shit. Like nobody fucking knows how many text messages or calls I get of people like, hey, I see you, I want to be like the path, not be like me, but we see what you've done, can you help me? So I'm always shooting people books. I tell them, fuck me, I might slip up at some point. Fuck me, here are the books that will lead you out of wherever it is, and please pick up mindfulness. That's meditation. Start doing that shit. It's gonna be uncomfortable. First 3 months I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I would laugh at myself. I'm like, what are you doing? But mindfulness, meditating, calming yourself down, that's the way to do it. And being of service just has be giving back. Karma, it comes back 2 times bigger. And with all that shit, this is where you get me now. And Ironman September, so I'm turning up the heat October, and that's my first race there. And where am I going next? I have a clue, but what's about to happen is just
The good thing is
It's
you're
about to
prepared.
explode.
Dog.
Oh yeah.
Prepared for this.
Fuck yeah. Like no, like this is graduation. This is like major leagues. This is shit that is like, what? This motherfucker was able to pull this shit out.
Hey,
From where?
quick question: the XYZ, was that because it was
That
like the
is
cheapest
because-
option, or
Nah.
was it because the freshjuicebar.com
So
was
website is
was taken?
freshjuicebar.xyz. XYC. Anybody that knows XYC companies, they move in the space crypto. They move in Web3, as we call it.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I did that. Because freshjuicebar.com is some motherfuckers in Greenland or somewhere over there. And I'm not going to hit them up for their fucking domain. So I was just like, you know what? I want to be incorporated with Bitcoin with my company too. So I want to be in the space, Web3, all that. So XYZ is it. Like, we still don't know it yet, but I feel like the future is going to be
Digital
Web3.
currency.
So
That's
XYZ might as well get a step ahead in front of
Thank you for the juice, bro. Shit was good, to be
No,
honest.
thanks for
Fire.
sharing your story, dog.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that might relate, and a lot of people that maybe aren't.
Oh, bro, this fucking community, we grew up with immigrant parents. We come from the shit show. Like, we are hustlers. Where our
Yep,
parents work 2 to 3 fucking jobs. We are at home after school amongst ourselves, haciendo un desmadre. And that's tagging, that's stealing, that's probably being the right way in an after school program. But every fucking neighborhood, every building has one little fuck up that's gonna influence another. And if you are in the hood and everything, like, you could relate. It's just our neighborhoods need to
Heal.
catch up with the healing. The healing only comes when you open up, when you're vulnerable, when you hold space. Where, like, honestly, psychedelics, like, I'm an advocate for them because it's like 1,000 years of therapy in just an hours. And I've never wouldn't be able to get to where I'm at now without psychedelics. It's helped me so much, and I know the stigma is fucked up around it, but it changes.
Yeah, we're here to
people.
break stigmas, though.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Damn.
Pull up
I can't
Monday,
wait.
7 p.m. At Rock and Riley's, Hoover, and Jefferson at the Run West Adams and Instagram.
Monday, 7 p.m. you said?
Monday, 7 p.m. Monday, 7 p.m. Matter of fact, what day is it today?
Saturday.
Saturday. So Monday, we'll be there, 7
yeah.
p.m.
And I can't wait to see
How much-
fresh juice at Whole Foods, bro.
Well, at
That would be a
Walmart,
perfect
Target, where
circle
is it?
moment, no?
Amazon? No,
We gonna slap some faces with that for sure.
hey, how many miles do you run?
3.
All right, cool.
How many I run a month?
That's doable.
I'm on average
Still
like
going.
70 a month
yeah.
right now. I did my first 50-mile run this January in Catalina Island.
I saw that shit.
11 hours, 52 minutes.
God damn.
Yeah, bro. Goggins can't hurt me. If you're in a funk and you want to change your life, anybody that comes to me, I swear to God, the first thing I do is go read this fucking book.
Goggins.
Don't read. I don't read. I don't have time to read.
I listen
Or
to
at
it.
least I think I don't have time. But I listen. In that, for the first year, there was never any music in my car, my truck, or at home. It was just books. But if you're coming at me, the first thing I'm gonna do is hand you that book.
Yeah.
Can't hurt me. And then I'll hand you The Body Keeps the Score, so you understand everything around this is trauma.
Yeah.
But yeah, can't hurt me. You need to build that mindset.
Damn, bro. Well, thanks for coming.
Much success.
Yeah, no, shout out to you
You got
guys.
this in the next
Hecho
few
en Sur
months.
Centro. You guys are SCLA clips here, and like homies down the street,
I'm-
West Adams. P.
I'm gonna try to pull up on Monday to like run with you guys.
You know how many times I hear that?
No, I went to my
Keyword was
first
try.
run club.
Keyword was try.
I went to my first run club yesterday actually. So now I'm kind of excited.
Where'd you go?
Southgate.
Oh,
I'll
what?
fucking run alone for like just forever.
Yeah.
But like I went to my first run club on yesterday, for fucking Thursday. So now I want to go to yours. So I'm like fuck it.
Pull up.
Try this.
Oh wait, tomorrow's Sunday. So
Sunday, Monday.
we're gonna be at Electrolyte tomorrow with Culver City. And Electrolyte is the
Electrolyte, yeah.
Yeah. So they're having a run club tomorrow, 9 a.m. I mean, I'll post it on the Instagram.
I'd
but-
rather Monday.
Cool. Monday,
It's
7
closer.
p.m. USC, right there where we're at. But thank you guys for having me.
I'll pull up.
Cheers, bro.
This shit is very, very creative and very home to me. Like when it comes to saying Alameda, Hoover, Jefferson, Maine, Gage, Hooper, Broadway, King County, like that's home. Like that is home. And when I'm in these spaces where I go and I'm outside of LA, they don't understand the culture.
Facts.
They don't understand the culture. And with us, it's like, bro, we go to school here. We grow up amongst kids that become the hood. And they might go from one gang to another gang. And that's why I never gangbang. It made no sense to me that I'm playing with these little kids. And now you're from this gang and you're that guy. And now you have beef. And I'm like, but I hang out with both of y'all. So, like, makes no sense. Sports always kept me out. But in our culture and our thing, and that's why I'm just all South Central all day, West Adams all day, LA all day, is just our culture is very, very fucking different. It's a melting pot here. And you never know who you bump into. And some of us make it out and are able to heal ourselves, but there's grown-ass kids that are 60 years old around here. And, you know, they don't comprehend. And you really have to be mindful and be emotionally intelligent on who you're dealing with around here. You really have to
No, for sure.
be on that level, because this culture is fucked. It's awesome, but we have no healing spaces as much as we should. And I think if we would be able to grasp that, put that together, it's just
So much different.
so much different.
Damn.
But yeah, thank you guys for having me.
No, for sure,
Yeah.
bro. Thank you.
All right, let's do it.